We're here with Kyle Zimmer. I guess first, Kyle, just talk about the transition. Obviously, you came here in 2013 as a starter. This year, more in the bullpen. What's kind of the transition been like for you?
Well, it's definitely different. Just coming out of the bullpen, it's a lot more of right now, go and get this guy. You don't have to worry about sort of setting different hitters up, establishing fastball first time through the order, and showing different pitches. And so I think the biggest change is definitely sort of pregame routine, because as a starter, you're able to take your time, long toss, get on the mound, slowly start building up all your pitches. And as a reliever, you got to get up and get going right now and get ready to go into the game immediately. So I think that's the biggest difference.
Have the Royals kind of talked to you at all about what they kind of intend for your future as far as this year compared to next year, maybe, or do they foresee you starting again down the line?
Yeah, I think just going to finish up this year in the bullpen and just coming off of injury, just keep the innings down, but still go out there and be able to compete and get guys out and sort of get back into the swing of the full season, because I missed most of last year also with that injury. So finish this year off in the bullpen feeling good, and then I think coming back into next year in spring training, building back up to starter innings. I think that's the plan.
How's it been like? Obviously, the pitching's been pretty good for the Naturals this year. What's it been like kind of pitching with Minaya, Reed? Obviously, Minaya just came up, but having those top prospects, Almonte as well, what's it been like kind of pitching with them?
It's awesome. I mean, we got such a talented team, the hitters and the pitching staff. It's great, especially, like you said, some of those guys that being in the bullpen now, them just having great solid starts and giving us rest, and then us able to come in and sort of shut the door. And so there's a lot of talented guys on this team, and it's a lot of fun to be around.
Obviously, you just want to stay healthy, do what you can to contribute to the Royals. Do you have, any goals or aspirations of possibly seeing yourself in Kansas City in September?
Yeah, I mean, that's always the goal, and looking sort of down the line, which I try not to do too much. Obviously, that's the ultimate goal for this season. It's the ultimate goal for everybody in this clubhouse every season, I feel like, is to get to Kansas City. And so that's definitely the ultimate goal, but right now it's just I'm looking at today, what can I do today to get better, and then wake up tomorrow and look at that day. And so try not to get too far ahead of myself, and just take it day by day, and just try to find something each day to get better at.
I guess kind of last, you never really hear about at the MLB trade deadline. You only hear about the big names. Do the young prospects, guys like you, Minaya, Reed, even, do any of you guys ever even talk about that or concern yourself with anything like that of possibly being on the move?
No. I mean, you hear different things, and I think it's kind of fun to play general manager down the bullpen and talk about like what the big league team might try, who they might try to get and stuff like that. But no, you never actually think about it, because that's sort of just, it's a waste of, I think, our mental energy where we could be spent elsewhere. And so I think we just try to worry about the things that we can control, and that's out of our control. And so just sort of whatever happens, and we're just going to try to keep getting outs.
Going back to the bullpen, you have had a lot of success in our bullpen, obviously. Do you kind of enjoy it, maybe? Aroldis Chapman comes up as a starter, and then they convert him to a closer, and he's kind of really enjoyed it. Do you ever kind of see yourself as, I really like it in the bullpen, or do you always see yourself as a starter?
I love starting. I like being out of the bullpen. I just really like pitching, and having that sort of taken away from me the last year or so is it's just refreshing to be back out here. And whether it's out of the bullpen, whether it's starting a game, I just love competing out there and being able to get outs for the team. And so whatever capacity that is, whatever they choose to use me as going forward, I'm gonna just take it in stride and just go out there and compete and get outs.
Speaking of the injuries that you've kind of sustained over the last year, have you changed your preparation at all, or maybe how you prepare going into spring and the off season, or how have you kind of dealt with the rehab process?
Yeah, well, the rehab process was a long one, but I think it definitely teaches you some more sort of traits of how to take care of yourself physically, how to take care of your shoulder more, with sort of the different finite movements that the pitchers do. And then it's definitely, I think, mentally strengthened me a lot. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of mental toughness to sort of get through those long days in Arizona. And so just take it all as a positive and filter that into the preparation for next year.
Will you ever approach, for instance, we had Chris Medlin, obviously, and Jason Vargas here rehabbing. Will you ever approach those guys, or maybe perhaps like an Edson Volquez during spring training, a veteran presence, ever approach them and how they go about their routines?
Yeah. Some just try to pick guys like brains like that as much as possible. Ask them about sort of their off-season routine as far as weightlifting, how much actual lifting they do versus the fine sort of shoulder strength in the exercises, and when they start throwing and how much they throw in the off-season and stuff like that. And so, and they're always great about it. They're always very open and helpful. So it's great to have those guys around and learn from them.
All right. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.